everybody, and I know I say that a lot of Let's Look Ats are going to be something a little bit different. This is one that is probably one of the weirdest Let's Look Ats I've ever done. This is a free browser-based game called GeoGuessr. That's GeoGuessr, but without the last E in Guesser, so like Guess R. That allows you to basically test your geographical skills by looking at pictures from around the world. Sound like fun? If you don't think this is fun, you can just get out right now, because we're going to be here for 10 or 15 minutes basically testing our intelligence based on looking on photos of like the environment, using some like detective clues. It's almost like a where in the world is Carmen Sandiego type thing for me. But in any case, the way that this works, it's very, very simple, and I wanted to show this off because A, this is totally the dorky kind of game that I can absolutely 100% get behind, and 2, it's free, so anybody can play it for themselves. I always have a soft spot for like educational or edutainment games. The way this is going to work, we're going to get 5 random pictures, I think they're random anyway, from Google Maps or Google Earth. I guess it is Google Maps technically. And then we're going to use this map over here on our right side, and we're going to try to pinpoint where, or guess, I guess, because, you know, a lot of the time you just have kind of a vague idea, where we think this picture is taken from. So let's look at this and let's look at our cues. I usually allow myself a 360-degree look around. So I can see there's some forest here, we've got some birch, we've got a truck, and this can be a good indicator of something. So we look at the truck, it's a Chevrolet, which means this is probably in North America by my estimation. Can't really tell what's going on with the license plates. They drive on the right side of the road. I'm gonna, you know, I have a North American bias since I've lived there. I'm gonna say that this is in the northeastern portion of the United States, maybe in a Vermont, shall we say. Then we make our guess. I was 3,000 kilometers away, which is not that bad, honestly. It could have been, you know, 15,000 kilometers away. Maybe it's in Australia or something. So that was actually in Idaho. Not a terrible guess, in my opinion. Based on the distance away you are from the actual point that the picture was taken from, you get a certain number of points. I've had runs, you know, 5,000 points, like 1,000 per guess. I've had runs of 8,000 points. I played against somebody, Bear Taffy, actually it's a YouTube channel, youtube.com/BAER Taffy, got 11,500 points in a game that we played together. Yes, there is multiplayer in this, adversarial multiplayer. But I digress. Let's continue onwards. By the way, I should point out, oh man, I have no idea. I should point out that this is not an opportunity for me to really show off my geography skills. This is not me being like, hey guys, check it out, I'm amazing at geography. I was always absolute garbage at geography until university, when me and my friends started playing a drinking board game called Geographax, where basically you just got a picture of a country and then had to guess which country it was and its capital. I'm still bad at it. I've only been to like 6 countries in my entire life, not counting airports. So generally speaking, and I don't mean this to be offensive, but having not been to South America, Africa, or Australia, or Asia outside of South Korea, particularly South America, Africa, and Australia, you could tell me that, you know, it's Brazil, it's fucking just outside of Sydney, or it's in Botswana or something, and I would believe you. I'm inclined to believe that this is either Australia or Africa. We don't really have much in the way of clues here. I promise I'll get going a little faster as well. So I'm gonna say that this is Australia, and why don't we go with somewhere here in South Australia. Alright, so actually that was pretty close. We were only about 1,000 kilometers away. It was actually a better guess than our last one, believe it or not. Alright, so now we can look at this one and we can say, okay, so we've got some like airplanes here. They are speaking English, or there's English on the signs. Some kind of Toyota trucks, which I usually associate with, this might sound a little offensive, but the developing world to a certain extent. We see a lady of Caucasian descent there. It must be a tourist destination of some sort. We got like budget car rentals. Actually, is some French, but that might just be the name of the restaurant. I'm thinking that maybe this is somewhere in Africa. I shouldn't have zoomed in there, by the way. That might be cheating a little bit, but there's a Bureau de Change. Why don't we go with, maybe this is in Namibia. Make guess. We were only 383 kilometers away there. That was actually really, really good. Now, this is the worst. Because I look at a picture like this, you know, I lived in Ontario, which is here in Canada, ON, for much of my life. This looks exactly like Ontario. The road markings, the forest, but this could easily, that's the Google Maps car, I suppose. This could easily also be anywhere in the United States. It could easily be many, many places in Europe. But I'm gonna go, you know, back home, Ontario. Alright, so it was actually British Columbia, which is where I live now, so I guess I'm kind of an idiot. But, you know, that's the problem with countries like Canada and the United States in this game, is that they're so large, and they have a lot of similar climate, a lot of differential climates as well. But they look sometimes pretty uniform across the entire country, so you can lose a lot of points in there. That's me trying to make myself feel better. Now I look at this and I say, okay, you know what? This looks decidedly European. We've got these green forests, these mountains, but this could be... those mailboxes definitely look European, at least by my bias again, as do these small roads. I would almost say that maybe this looks like someplace in Austria. By the way, feel free to play along at home and see if you do better than me. So we were, oh man, it was up like in the top of Norway. I was totally off there. See, that's what's cool about this game is it also enlightens you a little bit. You're like, you look at this picture behind us. I actually can't turn now because it's going to give me my final points, but you can see like, Jesus, I would not have expected something like north of the Arctic Circle to look that green and lush, you know? It shatters your biases a little bit. That honestly might be the best game I've ever had in GeoGuessr. That was 10,121 points, which is pretty good. Now, when you finish a game, you can give someone else the URL and play against them. Basically, they will get to go, but after each guess, they will see your score, and they're going to try to beat you, obviously, but they don't get any clues otherwise. In any case, let's play another one here, because I'm actually a big fan of this game, even though it makes me a total dork to say it. I really like this game and kind of its ability to kind of open my eyes a little bit. So even though this is not a traditional Let's Look At, I wanted to show it off because hopefully some of you out there are into dorky stuff like this too. That doesn't make you lame, man. That makes you cool. Similarly, I feel like I want to improve my geography skills a little bit as I've been playing all these Paradox games. You know, Crusader Kings The Old Gods comes out in like 2 days. I guess I should know a little bit more about what's going on up here in the north of Norway. Anyway, we're going to... probably hazard a guess that this is somewhere in Africa. I mean, here's my reasoning on this one. Obviously, you know, it's got kind of like a dry climate. It's definitely looking like that. Doesn't necessarily mean it has to be Africa, but there's, you know, lots of areas in the United States, for example, that look like that as well. Maybe some in southern Asia, maybe. No, maybe not like southeastern Asia, but anyway. What else like these trees here? I think these are called mangroves. They kind of remind me of like South America, maybe like the Horn of Brazil here, or somewhere in Africa. So I'm going to guess that this is African. I'm going to say maybe somewhere in Ethiopia. Wow, that was Australia. What did I tell you, man? Every time, Australia, Africa, South America are all a crapshoot for me. It looks like I need to take some trips at some point in my life. All right, let's. This has a little bit more forensic evidence for us. This is my favorite part, is when you have all these kind of clues that you can use around you. So let's look at our first clue. We got definitely like satellite TV. Not that that necessarily means anything. That is a European license plate for sure. So we know that this is not going to be in North America. I suppose this could be in Asia, but it seems unlikely to me. That looks like a BMW to me. That looks like a Toyota. I'm going to guess that this is in Europe. I can't really tell anything much more from these doors here. I'm going to actually hazard a guess that this is somewhere maybe in England or Scotland. And I hope I'm not making myself look like an idiot to the people watching this right now. Let's just take somewhere right there. I'm basically hazarding a guess. You know, we were only 326 kilometers away. Apparently it was Fraserburgh, or Fraserburgh in the northeastern part of Scotland. All right, that wasn't so bad. All right, let's take a look at this one. This definitely looks like Canada. I have to say right off the bat, I'm very used to seeing these kind of banners on the side, as well as this like question mark here. That might be a universal symbol, and I'm making myself look like an idiot, but I'm pretty sure that this is Canada just from looking at this. So, highways and farmers market. This could be in the Yukon, if I had to guess. It could be in British Columbia. I don't really see any mountains, but that could be because of the trees. It could be in the northeastern part of, or just the eastern part, I guess, of Canada, like Nova Scotia. I'm gonna hazard a guess that this is somewhere up in the Yukon. It could be up in Alaska or something, but let's hazard a guess here. We could be very far away. 734 kilometers away. It was in Alaska. That's pretty good. I'm proud of myself for that. So here's our fourth round. This definitely looks European to me as well. I think it's pretty obvious why. So now I look for the language. Where is a sign that can tell me what kind of language they speak here? This looks like the Swedish flag to me, sort of like turned into a crest. And you know, this doesn't look super dissimilar to Stockholm when I was there earlier this month, but these flags are definitely, like, that is a Spanish flag, I believe. So it could be in Spain as well. It's important not to let, you know, red herrings get you either. maybe that's just like a Swedish beer or something, or maybe it has nothing to do with Sweden, and I'm just looking at the like yellow, thinking that it does. I'm gonna guess that this is somewhere in Spain, based on the flags. I can't really tell. The people seem to be of Caucasian descent. We'll just go with Madrid here and make a guess. All right, so it was an island off the coast of Spain. That's pretty good. And we have a chance to possibly set a new record here. Oh my God, what is this picture? Oh, what the heck? I'm on top of like a California redwood or something. Everything is like super pinched in. This does not look like a North American vehicle. I'm just gonna go ahead and say this. Originally, I was like, yeah, this is like the fucking California redwoods or something. But that doesn't look like a vehicle from North America. I'm gonna guess that this is somewhere in Australia, just because fucked up shit when I see it in a picture always seems to be from there. All right, it was actually somewhere in Russia. That was a weird picture. You know what? Why don't we do one more rapid fire round pretty quickly? That was not the best round I've ever played in my entire life, but it wasn't horrible. Hopefully you at home are playing along and you're doing a little bit better than me. All right, so our final round here, the best 2 out of 3. They speak English. I'm just trying to see what some of these say. It says like Ice Classic. This strikes me as probably somewhere in like the Midwestern United States, if I had to guess. But again, I could be wrong. There's lots of places in Europe. Market and Front Street, those look like North America. Oh, there's an American flag back there. All right, so I'm going to say maybe this is like Idaho, which is, or it could be Iowa. Let's go with Iowa just because it's closer. Actually, let's go with Idaho because it's further away. We were 3,000 kilometers away. That was actually in Alaska. See, man, you always think of Alaska, or at least I do, because I'm ignorant, as like a frozen wasteland. But apparently not. Now, this is a tough one. We can't really see what's going on here. There's a water or sculpture of some kind. It's like a cactus and some broken shells down here. To me, this looks like Bolivia or something. It's super flat. Maybe those are the Andes in the background there. I have no idea. Let's just go with Bolivia. We were 8,000 kilometers away. It was actually Utah in the United States. This is a sobering round of GeoGuessr. Now again, this looks like the United States to me. Does this not look like Nevada or something? It's hard to tell. Maybe this is an all North American round. So let's go with Nevada. We were 8,000 kilometers away. That was actually in Spain. All right, I'm letting the pressure get to my head now. Okay, this picture. Could you give us any more? This is like a serial killer's log cabin, and this is where he gets the bodies in here. That definitely looks like a car that could be North American, but it's far too early to say. There's power lines, so this place has electricity. That's a big help. I honestly have no idea. I'm going to go with, like, Arkansas in the U.S. I told you I have, like, a North American bias. If something looks vaguely North American, I'm likely to take it. So that was actually, like, Estonia, which I would not have predicted. Again, you learn something new every day. There was a dust storm here recently. Okay, you know what? This is really bad. I'm just going to pick somewhere randomly in North America. That was actually by far my best guess. We're going to do one more round because I was very displeased with that. We got, like, 4,000 points. 6,000. That's not ridiculously bad. Here we go. Now we got something to work with. This definitely, to me at least, looks a little bit like Asia. This might sound, actually now it looks kind of European. It might sound a little bit racist or stereotypical, but the way I try to determine if it's Asia is if like I see, in South Korea it was like all Hyundai and Kia and Daewoo cars. So I try to look at the cars and use those as an indicator. That's like a Fiat, which indicates to me that this might be Europe. And I can't really see what's going on here. I can't see what language. Oh, Centro Comercial do Lago. This could even be Africa, maybe? Like, I have no idea. I don't have too much information to go on here. If only I spoke whatever language this was. You know what? Okay, I'm going to go with... I'm like looking at the people in the vehicles. This is creeping me out now. I'm gonna say that this is maybe this is gonna be like Tbilisi, Georgia. That's gonna be my guess. Actually, maybe even like Kiev. Okay, let's go Kiev in the Ukraine. Oh my God, it was fucking Paraguay. I was not even close. That might actually be Brazil. Yeah, I think it's still Brazil. I never get the Brazil ones every single time. I think it's such a big country. I think it could be like 9 or 10 different ones. Okay, so we got some kind of maybe tropical climate here. These vehicles do not look reminiscent of North America. They are driving on the left side of the road. Is that a flag that I can see there? No, it is not. This looks like a beautiful paradise. The only problem is I don't know where they drive on the other side of the road. What the other side of the road to me, anyway. I'm going to guess that this is somewhere in South America. Why don't we go with Brazil? Because that always seems to be the correct answer. Oh, that was fucking, like, Guam or something? Oh, no, that was just in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. All right, that was Japan on whatever this island is. Wow, I got 29 points there. That might be the furthest away I've ever been. That was really bad. I was almost thinking Asia for a little while. You know what this looks like to me? Ice on the ground, kind of sparse population. I wish I could see what language they're speaking. To me, this looks like Iceland. I can't really tell what it says on the sign. The sign certainly looks like Icelandic or possibly Swedish. I'm going to go with Iceland here. And, you know, there's only, like, 2 big cities in Iceland, really, so I'll go with Reykjavik as opposed to Akureyri. Okay, it was in Finland. That was fairly close, I guess you could say. I was on the right track, at least going a little bit Nordic. This tells me absolutely nothing. I'm going to guess that this is the northeastern part of the United States. It might be actually on the ocean there. There we go. Let's try that one. All right, that was, again, in Finland. This game does love Finland, by the way. This, to me, Celebrity Cruises tells me it could be anywhere. Ketchitkin Visitors Bureau. This strikes me like it could be, oh, Milano, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything. Welcome to Alaska's first city, Ketchitkin, the salmon capital of the world. All right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to zoom in on Alaska, and then we're going to try to find ourselves a Ketchitkin, which is obviously going to be, like, coastal, if I am smart here, because it does have a cruise liner there. This is probably cheating. Inside Passage. There's like a Norwegian flag there. Maybe it was settled by the Nords ages ago. But that seems to me like it would be on the like northern coast or something then. I don't know, man. There seem to be like very few cities up here. Let's see where Alaska turns green and coastal. Let's say it's here. This is my guess. Alright, we were way the F off. It was actually down by BC. In any case, that's going to do it for my last round of GeoGuessr. That was not very good. Highly recommended. Play this game in your spare time. This reminds me of the kind of stuff that I would waste time playing in like grade 9 computers class as opposed to learning how to type. Because let's be honest, Mr. Turnbull, we were like 13-year-olds in 2003. We already knew how to type. In any case, there will be a link in the video description to go play this. Play it against your friends. Get a little bit more learned. Open your eyes to the world. This is an educational game, but it's also a fun game. Nonetheless, I like it a lot. And again, thanks to Zen and Cyrene on Twitter. Also, you may recognize him from the Binding of Isaac races that we did for getting me totally hooked on this game and causing me to waste the better part of an afternoon proving how geographically ignorant I am. But again, in any case, there's the link in the video description to play the game if you're interested. As always, thanks for watching. I hope you found this video a little bit informative and also a little bit entertaining, hopefully. But as always, we'll get back to more traditional video games later. I'll see you next time.